Good evening or morning,
Oh,
actually. That's funny. Hey, Rob, how you doing?
pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Like hilarious. It just felt literally like rushing. Fuck, I missed my sound check. I missed my rehearsal kind of thing. Because as I wrote you just literally a couple of minutes ago, I was on a night walk outside my apartment. So,
Yeah, I guess
you
it's
know,
night over there, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, it's pitch black, beautiful sky, pretty cool to walk around. And I just needed to, go out there outside my bunker.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like under the same situation the rest of the world is in, really.
Right? Feels rings a bell. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
where are you at in Canada? It's funny. We will probably tell the story like literally how of the
Oh, it's
whereabouts of
you know what
but
it's honestly no big deal because like uh, actually, if anything, this is a good break for my wife because she
the
listens
divorce
to
live stream.
thousands and thousands and thousands of my stories like
I gotta
so many
go. This
times.
is a I gotta go. This is
Yeah.
a divorce live stream.
Yeah,
Around it.
exactly.
This is the best
So
one ever for me.
yeah, so like she does her own thing and all and whatnot. But as far as like storytelling and everything goes, like she's heard my ramblings and my shit for years, fucking years,
Gotcha.
and she's heard it all. So there's nothing really new. So I'm kind of like already rehearsed with saying like where I'm from and all that kind of stuff. I've only done like 1,000 times, but we'll get into that. No, I'm up in Canada, over in the West. Here's one thing I'm kind of curious about. You're more familiar with utilizing StreamYards than I am. Are you
Let's see
able
about
to
that.
yeah, are you able to share screens? Like are you able to share stuff on your end?
Yeah, I mean, there is for those you guys, we're technically checking shit out. So sorry about that. Whoever is tuning in, I have no idea. There is a button right under kind of the green room in the view that you see, like cam stop, mic,
Yeah.
stuff.
And then screen
Share
share and then
screen.
okay.
Exactly, and then leave studio. Don't press that
Uh,
one.
yeah, I know.
So probably depending on what you would like to share, I'm
Because
tuning in
like
from
what I was
Orlando.
actually here one sec. Because what I was actually thinking, as I was actually just give you just a straight up visual and just show you where where I'm at. This way, I'm
All
just
right.
sorry, I'm just kind of doing stuff like literally on the fly. But
I
anyways,
know we are. By the way, is there a shareable link so that I throw it on wherever so that people can
oh
watch
yeah,
us?
yeah,
I just
totally.
did a live
Yeah,
stream on Instagram. Guys, I'm going on live with Canada. No idea where the fuck, but should be fun.
I'll quickly toss up a link. It'll just take me a second.
Cool.
It'll holy shit. There you go. 1 second. And yeah, so it's just literally my Twitter handle, ZMG. And
All
then
right.
as just kind of give you an idea as to where the hell I am at. Holy crap. Let's give App Chrome tab and maps. Share. Cool. You able to see that?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
gotcha. You're really up
right.
north from where I grew up.
Yeah. So like about 4 hours south of that blue dot is the Montana border, and for our southern neighbors for with the United States. And so, but me originally, this is where I currently live. But are you able to see my cursor?
You're what?
My
Coaster?
cursor? Yeah,
A cursor.
my
Yes.
yeah, the cursor, my arrow. Yeah, you can see it.
Wait a second. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
clear. I don't know
Oh,
about the
okay.
rest of the folks. I'm
Okay.
doing good.
So the blue dot, that's where I currently live, right? But where I was actually born is 2 hours south of there in this little city over here called Lethbridge. That's
Okay.
where I was born, right? And but I was born there, but I was actually essentially raised about 10 kilometers east of there in a little town called Coaldale, right here. And
Nice.
that is where I spent pretty much my entire childhood and my entire teenage years as well. But then majority of my adult life was spent in Lethbridge. That's where I worked. That's where I went to college. Worked some more. And yeah, then eventually, as of 2 years ago, the wife and I packed shop and went up to Calgary, and that's its own story that we can definitely get into.
That's
As far
hilarious. Calgary is like the place in Canada where most of my best friends are. It's like literally, I don't know why, but Calgary defines Canada for me. It's like the same thing. I hear it and it's just like ka-ching. So
fun
sorry for that. It's
Oh
it's
no, no
bad
way, man.
one.
Because
It's
fun
way
fact,
more. But
Calgary. I think what was it? I think Calgary, I think was considered one of the cleanliest cities, I think, in the world. I think one
Yeah,
of the
I think
top two or
it went.
top three or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Where is like it's fucking true. Holy crap! I can't like I've
So
here's
modest of you. I like it.
yeah, it's like it's true. It's like as far as like my traveling experiences go, it's stupid fucking narrow. Just to give you an idea, that map where I showed you, that whole area, pretty much that whole province, that's where I've lived my whole life. As
No
far as
worries. It's
in
not
the
better or worse. It's like not
oh no
everyone
no
has
no
to be
no.
born
It's
with a
just
fucking carry-on like
oh
me,
no
for
no not
example.
not at all. It's like see, it's just one of those. It's just an interesting dichotomy when you're getting into those that have certain mindsets and points of view and perspectives for that matter when you're literally living in a narrow framework as far as your cultural experiences and exposure goes.
Sure.
And so as a result, I have a very narrow lens as far as like experience goes. But at the same time, that kind of leaves me as a bit of a blank slate to experience things like digitally on the horizon to see what's going on around the world. So that way, when it comes time for me to pick up a backpack and go out and traverse the world, when this whole
Your list
shitstorm
is
comes
already
off,
set.
once that all lifts, like that way, I'll kind of be a little bit. I shouldn't say more aware. Henry Rollins. Are you familiar with Henry Rollins by any chance?
It does ring a bell. I'm so terrible with names. Wait, writer? I'm going to turn out the biggest
he's
ignorant.
he's a little bit of everything, but yeah, writer,
Okay.
actor,
might know him
spoken
from-
word art, but more predominantly for me, he's best known as he's the former vocalist for the punk rock band Black Flag back in the 80s.
Yes. Okay, now it rings a bell. Of course.
Is that dude?
I know the guy.
See that red poster?
Not literally, but I know of him.
Do you see that red poster?
I do.
That's
a
him.
nice one. That's an oldie, by the way, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was 2008 on that one. But anyways,
it is ancient history. By the way, Rob, sorry to interrupt.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Because this is fun. I want to share this with like whoever might be tuning in.
You can share it with whoever.
I would need the link to our stream actually, because only your channel opens, but we are not on the website. Because I tried it. I literally just opened it in my other browser, and it's not like live at all. There's a list of your game stuff, but nothing else.
You have to.
Other than that.
Yeah, it should be live because I'm actually recording it right now.
That's what I mean. Either I'm a complete amateur.
No, it's like if you click on at the very top, you'll see 4 tabs. It'll say home, video, clips, and followers. You're under video. Click on home.
Yeah, I am home, and then start. Huh?
Oh, it should be
start watching.
Yeah, if you
that's
weird.
Not a video playing. And then
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Wait a sec. I need to mute it. There we go. You cannot do it twice. This is what I learned using StreamYard either way, because it's too greedy if you have 2 sources. Okay, gotcha. So click, copy, share. Sorry guys, literally on the fly, on air, but since we're doing this shit, we might as well go real, non-edited, unscripted.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm all for like actually it was I'm all for like doing one-on-ones, doing group chat. Like honestly, as far as any kind of like podcast or any kind of like open discussion goes, whatever, you're the first. Like straight up, you're the first.
Well, to be honest, I've never done this either. Like literally meeting. Should we take off the lid right now? Literally meeting a guy in a chat. Like how 80s does that sound? Like meeting a guy randomly and then hooking up online. This is by the way the new cybersex, guys. Like get used to fucking it. A chat room. No, but with all
it's true though.
It is true. With all seriousness though, we bumped into each other like wanting to watch like a Gary Vaynerchuk coffee tea morning thing, and it was funny because I was running late.
He's my companion. Yeah, he's my morning. This guy's my morning companion. Anyways, go on. Sorry.
No product placement, right? And
do you not know who that is?
Yeah, hello, of course, Tim Barton. Hello.
Jeez, okay, you had me scared. Whew.
Why?
Sorry, still my beating heart. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
No worries. And I was in the middle of doing something for the very first time today. Like my mom really pushed me to kind of hook up English class courses. And I was like, man, that's not my field. I don't teach, I can't speak English, but like, come on. I was trying to push other things that are related with my business. And I thought about it for 5 minutes and I literally went straight into it. No judgment, as Gary says, just throw it out there. Was doing a simple page, small amount of text, boom, it's out. And I looked at the clock, fuck, past 3, and I should be, watching. So I ran into the YouTube link. I saw, Gary is not there. A lot of chat happening on the side, people talking and tagging each other. I was like, what is this? So, you finished the story. The rest is history.
Yeah, it's like that was pretty much it. It's like we're just literally just hanging out in chat, just waiting for Vaynerchuk to do his thing or whatever. Speaking of that, let's quickly. Oh, you're gonna take a picture right now? Oh, let's do this. Oh yeah.
No, I forgot I put my Instagram on live stream. I'm such a mess.
Whatever. That's okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, we're taking a picture. Take a picture. Anyways, content. Remember.
Still right. It's real.
But yeah, otherwise, like, yeah, we're just. That's kind of been my thing when it comes to like trying to be more engageful when you're getting in any kind of social media environment. This is something I really picked up on when experimenting with Twitch for not only this time now that I got back into it, but also from the previous time that I had before. That's a whole different story. But anyways, but the one thing that I really got in the habit of was getting engagement, not with the person who's broadcasting or quote unquote host, but you got literally hundreds of other people that are in chat that you can like freely engage with. Now, sure. my biggest turnoff is always been has always this the speed of the chat. As soon as it becomes incomprehensible for me to follow along, forget it. It's like I immediately close it.
No, and either way, for a perception is way too much. And I consider myself a young generation, and I'm still fucking overloaded. Can we swear on this channel? Sorry.
Oh yeah. God, right. It doesn't. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
We are good. Trust me.
We are who we are, right? No.
We are good. But anyways, yeah. So then, my thing was like I try and engage with people, and ultimately my biggest this kind of like speaks more to work ethic more so than anything, not to sound egocentric or anything, but it's always been kind of like my goal, if I'm interested in someone and watching them live, to try and beat them to their own channel, if that makes any sense. So for example, there's this one gentleman that I've been recently following on Twitch, and he's a World of Warcraft player. He's a really good one. Anyways, but so he will always tweet out saying that he's going to go live. My goal is to always ensure that I am in chat trying to engage with someone before he goes live. Like that's, and that goes for everything that I'm essentially interested in. And so as a result, I try and engage with other people first and say, hello host and hello chat, and see who responds to the chat, because the first person that replies to the chat saying, oh, hello, this person, you're the person I want to talk to. Yeah. Because that means you're paying a fucking attention. And it's like, paying attention.
And it can be one person, it can be 50 person. It really kind of depends how far on you are with your like program, so to speak. Is it like the very super first one, you just throw in an ad, hey guys, I'm going live for the very first time in 30 minutes, I have a guest on, or I'm talking to myself kind of thing. It all depends who's random. Is like a million ways to go about it, pretty much. So
exactly. And so then that's what happened.
I agree.
You just oh yeah. And so then I saw the tweet from Vaynerchuk, and like I was lucky because I was like on the bloody ball, because I looked at the time and I was like, oh, it's like I kept seeing the time getting pushed back, and I always noticed it getting pushed back by like 5 minutes at a time. And so I saw the tweet and I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, and then another mental thing that I try and do is I try to be first at everything. I try to be fucking first at everything.
Same here.
And yeah, that's
so pointless, right? It has been done.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like you try, but at the same time, that's kind of part of the whole hustle ethos, is that you try to be first, even if you know that you're not, that you're still putting.
That's also okay to imagine your reality kind of and play from that. It's perfect. It's like, who cares? You're doing your thing in your own time, right?
Yeah, that's ultimately how execution happens. It's like, don't. That's why Vaynerchuk always constantly communicates saying like, don't dwell, speed, execution, blah blah blah, like that whole thing where he has thousands of fucking hours of him repeating that same thing over and over, because it's true. And that's part of it, is like you try to be first. And so I was like, okay, let chat know in YouTube chat that, hey, it's called off. Even more so, I tried to make sure that I beat his team to that. And
that was amazing. I gotta say, like, because I wasn't really following full on. I was still like going in between what I was writing right in the middle when I went on the chat, and then I saw the announcement, and I was like, ooh, I like this guy. This dude is fast. It's like, he reminds me of me. So I think, bam, that's exactly why hours later, we are literally on, we're having like a meeting, like having a coffee or water, whatever, in
Oh,
real
water
life.
for you. Yeah. It's like, I don't know if it's like, it might be a little bit late for you to have a coffee because damn, why the hell does it? I look like fucking
That's
Casper
true.
right now. Holy crap. I don't know why, but like seriously, I
Maybe
look like
that's the look in Canada. I have no
my
freaking
God.
idea.
It's like, yeah, I got some red in my beard and I know I got some Celtic in my skin, but damn, I shouldn't look like Casper. Jesus. Anyways.
I suntanned quite a bit. So I gotta say, I literally, I showered before my walk today and I looked at my skin and I was like, whoa, this really turned brown. Yes. So, that's
Oh
what I
man.
was aiming for, pretty much. So, but
Man,
there
I
is
got
a difference. Maybe that's a preset or something.
oh yeah, it's like totally. It's like I got Celtic skin. I am so like
You are pale.
I do not tan. And it's like coupled with
We need your vitamin D. By the way, we're not product placement at all. There is no label.
no, but yeah, I take my
But
vitamins and stuff like that.
for
But
those
like the
of you-
biggest thing, I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I've never been able to tan. Like I've had two colors. I've had Casper
black
white
and white.
and red. I had lobster fucking red and I have Casper white. Those are my
That's
two colors
hilarious.
because it takes very little time for the sun to do its work to roast me like a bloody lobster.
That's not healthy either,
Fuck no,
You
it's
get
not.
crunchy after that.
When I went to, I'll tell you, or I'll quickly tell you this story. It's like now we're getting into like kind of story mode and stuff like that. Now it's
No,
like,
that's
oh
awesome.
hey,
Let's give the folks some background, some context.
oh yeah,
If there
so
is one.
not really. It's just like I'm
Not
just
really.
at this point. This is just me bullshit, and it's like from some random chick in Sweden, right?
Life frame. Yeah.
But anyways, when I was a kid, and this is kind of like where it really popped off for me, where I was kind of like, shit, my skin is really susceptible to the sun, and it really sucks. Is when I was a kid, I think it was man. I always try and get caught up in the details because I'm like I'm literally replaying it in my head, so I get caught up in details. So sorry about that. So
No, go ahead.
and if you feel the need to interrupt me, fucking go ahead.
Smoke signals are good. Like, how do you like it?
Yeah,
I'll use my click.
oh, just, honestly, whatever works. You can even use the verb cue and be like, "Hey, Rob, pothole, something like that." I don't know. Anyways, that's Kevin Smith reference. But when I was a teenager, I was swimming one day, and it's an outdoor pool in that small town Coldale. It was this outdoor pool, and it wasn't even like that sunny. It had like some overcast, and it wasn't even that particularly hot. But I jumped in the pool, and I was only in it for like an hour. But when I came out, I was like pretty red, and the next day it fucking started blistering, and it scarred my ass.
That was like a second-degree burn already.
Yeah, it's like it was just a result of like just sunburn, like just severe sunburn, and it just started blistering and it like scarred my shoulders a little bit until like I got like way older until it finally kind of healed over. But it took like 15 bloody years for that to happen. But yeah, anyways, that's how I found out that I'm just like, yeah, the sun. No matter how much sunscreen lotion or whatever, it's like I slather that shit on. But I can only be out in the sun for a very limited amount of time because I will roast.
How we learn. This is how we learn, right?
Oh yeah, and then even when I was a teenager, I was always the psychotic dude that would be dressed head to toe, like no shorts. Like I would always wear jeans, and it would always be black because, like, well, my whole wardrobe is black. It's been black for like 25 years.
That's another thing, right? It's not only taste, but it's necessity in this case.
Well, considering that, like, as far as like new clothes go, I don't go to like, as far as like new clothes go, there's only two places that I really go for new clothes: concerts and like the occasional like in a thrift store.
I'm not surprised. Well, the second one is pretty much where I ended up the last so many years. I mean, basically, here's a small story about me. Pretty much I am against corporate clothing. However much I work with fashion as a performer, for those of you guys that don't know, it's like at this point for 10 years, 15 years, however long, I try to really just purchase and tap into fresh socks and underwear that comes from, a chain pretty much that is like, I wash it. I know it's been fabricated and all and has a label, whatever, but just for pure hygiene. Other than that, I love vintage. I love second, third hand. I do tap into that recycling and upcycling kind of thing. Call me crazy, but that's a small chip in to the planet. The second part, I totally understand. By the way, I dig your hoodie, testament.
Oh man, I've had this.
We will come back to that.
Like, yeah.
I stayed up all night 3 days ago or 2 days ago. I lost track because Alex Skolnick did like a music challenge. Oh my god, it was so good. Just like a simple Floydian kind of guitar in his basement. It was so rad. It took me back 4 years back towards a woman that was 29 at the time and started learning guitar for the very first time. So it was just like a magical moment, and I was like playing it over and over and over.
What a fucking god. I love that man. Like I've never met him or anything like that, but at the same time, like here's the thing. I'm not sure how much of my Instagram you've actually snooped, but I'm pretty sure you saw a trend. No, none. Good. Okay,
no.
cool.
To be honest, I think I just saw a cat, a dog, and something music related, and I kind of not onto that notion. Metal really brings people together, and I've been in metal way more recently, so I figured, we'll do fine, whatever.
Yeah, it's like very rarely do I only have like two animals posted on my Instagram. But anyways, if you keep scrolling, you'll notice something. Anytime that I'm posting something related to music and live shows, you'll always notice that it's like you'll rarely see the crowd. It's because I'm always up fucking front all the goddamn time. And
here's the thing. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
If I'm not on freaking stage, that's exactly my standpoint. Either on the side if I'm somebody's guest and, friends are cool enough to bring me over, first fucking row, or not at all. I'm still at that age that I need to, actively participate and be that up close to see the moves, the picking, the face, get some sweat on the hair, shit like that. Call me weird.
Can I tell you? Fuck me. Can I tell you this story? Okay, this is a testament story. You'll love this. This is so goddamn hilarious. And this is a good front row story. And I got tons of front row stories.
All right, hit me.
So one of the shows that Testament had played here, I can't remember who the hell they were opening for. I would have to dig it out. But anyways.
Was it a Canadian show?
Oh yeah, it was a Calgary show. It was a show up here in Calgary. I just can't remember the lineup. I'd have to look at it. But anyways, I've seen about 4 or 5 times that I get caught up in the details as to when. So it all just kind of goes for shit. But I do remember a couple of cool moments. So it's Chuck Billy being Chuck Billy. What he likes to do is when you got the barricade and you got that little step on the barricade for security to jump on to catch crowd surfers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Cool. So what of course Chuck Billy does, because he's a dude at the fans, that he'll ride along, like crawl along it while high-fiving people. But of course it's Chuck Billy. He's a BFI, a big fucking Indian, and so he has that big gut of his.
He ain't small.
And he is covered in sweat, and so he's going along the barricade, stepping along that step for security. And what do I get but his big sweaty belly just
right across your pretty face.
Yeah, man. You got all of the pressure of all of the people pushing forward, and you got this big dude with a big sweaty body just right across your goddamn face. Honestly, that was fucking cool and hilarious as shit.
This is the exact representation of how much music can get physical with you. It's just the ultimate experience.
It's so fucking hilarious.
It's not about just flipping on a record. Nah,
hell no.
That's the beauty of it.
Here's the thing too, is like, and this is I've for the past year or two, I've been kind of struggling internally in my head. I've been kind of struggling with almost imposter syndrome. What I mean by that is when you're getting
Should I be scared right now? Should I be logging off already?
No, not at all. This is just in terms of
social distancing is so easy. You're up in fucking Canada. I'm in Europe.
Yeah. So. But no, it's more just in terms of utilizing the term metalhead, because as far as listening to music, listening to records, listening to CDs, listening to streams and all that kind of stuff, the amount of actual recorded stuff that I've listened to over the past 5 years has been actually monumentally small. And that's just because of what I've replaced all of that content with, and not replaced, temporarily replaced it with, because there's only 24 hours in a day.
But basically within your lifestyle and lifespan.
Exactly. So for the past 2 or 3 years,
music. I got it.
Yeah, but then for the past 2 or 3 years, the majority of the music that I've been consuming has been in the form of live concerts, of going to live gigs, whether it be local shows or bigger acts and stuff like that. So that's always been my catalyst to ensuring that I kind of have that metalhead status and connection, is by going to those
gigs. A label like metalhead. Come on, it's like a 3-year-old girl can be a metalhead already, and she's experiencing her first concert in her living room. It's just a name, but I guess.
check
what you
this out.
need
Like,
to
this is
verify that through is like, yeah, the status, yeah, because I'm participating. By the way,
yeah.
so cool of you, man, that you're out there. I don't know who fucking sponsors you, but I need to learn.
Not of God. Here's the
The
thing
booth
is
tickets
that
are not as cheap as we might think sometimes, and especially if you really are a hardcore goer, you know.
try. Try. But yeah, it's just like as a result, but anyways, but yeah, like the live shows have always been my catalyst to ensuring that I still stay connected.
What's your
Like
first
with
gig? Do you
what's
remember?
my
Like,
first gig? Oh fuck me. Uh
that's a tricky question always, like, because my story with the live
let me
concerts is
tell me yours. What is yours? And then maybe that'll get like the gears going for me.
honestly, with me, it's a little bit of a flip because I'm a late bloomer. I've started many things quite late in my life, and many of them I started very early on, meaning myself being in the entertainment business, learning as a kid at a very early age, going on stage. But since I've been in the process of either learning or taking workshops over the weekend, being at festivals, I haven't seen many live concerts per se, though music was in my life since always. I will shock you. I think my
Please do.
very first gig. Are we just talking like
Doesn't matter.
instrumental live band music?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like music is music.
I think it was David Eugene Edwards. I don't know if you're
that went right over my fucking head. Holy shit.
okay. And why? I was at a project in Zagreb doing like a theater kind of residency, whatever, and we just happened to be there at the student resident theater, Stari Grad something theater. It was called very funny. And I saw the name in the program. I was like, wait a minute. And the explanation to all of you guys that don't know who David Eugene Edwards is, he's one of the music gods of blues, rock, like whatever the genre, because he composes music for live shows from Ultima Ves, which is a very cool and physical and out there dance theater in Europe from Brussels by Wim van de Kabels. He's the artistic director, and David is pretty much his right hand doing soundtracks like from almost day one. So I was like, for real. And they played the super cute small theater, and we actually met up afterwards. That's also another story, like what was the end of that. But I think if I remember correctly, that was
how old were you when this went down?
That was 2009, I think, or 8.
2009, 2008. Okay,
it was not long ago. And then to be honest, fast forward to where I am now, which is also a separate freaking story.
Am I allowed to ask you your age?
Sure. I'm turning 33 this year.
Oh yeah, fuck you. Yeah.
Jesus Christ age, whatever that means.
But, yeah, right. Well, just to put things into like context as far as like age demographic or anything is concerned, I'm 35. We're good.
All right, still young.
Anyways, go ahead.
I feel like a 66-year-old in the morning just because of the wear and tear, as I say. But mentally, I'm probably 12, and I will be. So
you met up with them after the show?
I did, and that was super cool. You know what? Let's leave that to the audience for an episode 2. That's going to be exciting. But then fast forward to a huge arena show. And by arena, I mean O2 Mercedes-Benz in Berlin, Lady Gaga Monster Ball, which was like a mega huge production. And I was lucky enough also, weirdly enough, to
What's the name of the venue?
It's Arena O2.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, type that. Fuck, I am not. Yeah,
Arena O2 and then Mercedes-Benz Berlin. That's all you need to know. And it's one of these huge arenas pretty much where bands do European runs right now. That's one of the places. Aside of Tempodrome Berlin, let's say, aside of many others, this is one of the big ones. But
that's a big fucker. Holy shit.
It is a big fucker. So, like, as I say, like, I was never, because here's the thing, like, where I come from, I've never been, like, a real fan, if you will. And the definition for me is still kind of in progress, to be honest, but I've never considered myself as a fan. I consider myself an admirer of many people and many artists, and also, like, music artists, because I was kind of one of them, so it made no difference for me, big or small. But then when I kind of really went to a real kind of concert, because I had the opportunity to, I shipped the ticket over to my friend's house because there was no shipping address. Like then, I don't know, it wasn't possible to buy it to wherever I was staying at. I don't know why. And she almost ripped the fucking thing because she thought it's Werbung, like a commercial kind of thing. So that was another cute story. I almost made it, was so close to not. And then, you know, it kind of started off. So when I went into rock and roll on a practical side of things, then when it started to kind of happen. And then I understood what I was missing out on so many years. But no, not really missing out. I was doing my own shit. But at the same time, it's like no better freaking experience. I got to tell you, if you want to experience music, see it live, feel it on your skin, get sweat on your back, get sweat on your face. It's just experience the whole, because that's a completely different thing. You know, flipping on a record passively, however, and it's not, you know, I don't judge at all. But it's experiencing music on the passive side in the sense, and getting an opportunity to actually see the guys perform live. For me, it's nothing better. I mean, but I'm just talking as myself as a live performer as well. So it's just like,
oh no, you're see,
oh my fucking God,
I have the perspective of a hardcore fan, and what you just said resonated 100%.
So, yeah, so there you go. I'm a hardcore fan myself. It's just like there is a ton of shit that I can just preach and talk about to the extent that my friends literally throw up. I think what I did with the live stream right now on Instagram, one of my friends literally wrote me, Anna, I cannot stand it. It's too much. Like, what the fuck is happening? You're on a live stream here and then sharing this and talking about that. Like, it's too much for me. I give up. And it's like, sorry guys, that's how passionate I am about certain things. It's just block me, feel free. You know, there's so much stuff to do and watch. Otherwise, this is kind of a part of my life as strongly. And since I cannot be out there in the fields right now, I cannot do my own field of work. I'm not complaining, but this is at least what I get a chance to do, is like us talking right now. Ooh, I got excited with Testament. Ooh, I saw Alex call me. Ooh, I got slapped with the face in a live show. That's the ultimate live experience. We can share that. We can might as well talk about it until the moment when all this freaking Corona thing is uplifted, you know, and we hopefully get a chance to come back to that and rock it out on either sides as soon as possible. So
are you on your phone, or are you on a desktop or on a computer or laptop?
I am on my MacBook. Why?
Oh, your MacBook? Okay. I was wondering because
is that crappy?
No. The reason why I was wondering is for this reason. I'm just wondering, is it possible for me to give you access for you to be able to share stuff on your end?
Hopefully. Because here's the thing, I threw the link on Facebook, on my Facebook, but it's not like everywhere simultaneously, if that's what you mean. Let's maybe try it. Why not? Because
go.
It's pretty neat. I'm starting to.
The reason why I'm asking is for two reasons. I'm being a little bit selfish because one, I want you to show me shit. Because everything that you're
selfish as well. You don't. Because you don't know me at all.
Yeah, because like I want you to be able to like pop something. Like if you have something on your computer that you're just like, oh yeah, and you can just flick it up. Right. That would be awesome. Hell yeah. And also selfishly, I have an ulterior motive in regards to that, is because I'm also trying to set something up with a couple of DJs that do satellite radio here in North America.
Shout out to DJ. So, I love you guys. I've worked with you back in the day and also with electronic music. Now I'm having a funny comeback, but that's also a separate story to that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna want to hear about that too, because like I like this. This is kind of like when you're getting into the entertainment industry, when you're getting into like just broadcasting, like just this whole thing is like is pretty bloody new. So it's like, yeah, it's all like pretty new. But anyways, ultimately, I just want them because I need them to be able to have that ability, so that way it's not just predicated on just the host, because one of the DJs is part of like what they do is every Wednesday we do literally a game. They do a trivia game show. But
oh my God, I have no chances. I can tell you that already.
Oh fuck,
if it's DJ related, it's like,
oh,
I have no clue, but I'm very open to learn, you know.
And I am dog shit at it. It's like, I have probably about like 4 or 5 hours of recorded footage of me literally playing into the trivia pit. That's what they call it, into the trivia pit with them while they're doing it. And I'm trying to answer the questions while they're throwing the questions out there. And I am bombing. Like, and they're not easy too, but anyways, I just figured
I even suck at rock trivia in the sense of, because here's the thing, I'm just so bad with names. and dates. I have a fantastic
Lyrics.
memory for
Fucking lyrics.
so much
Fucking
things and
lyrics.
lyrics. True,
Fucking
but
lyrics.
you know, like the tempo of my lifestyle, and I think I've killed so many brain cells on my insomnia or coffee. Pick one. That is just it's hard, you know. Sometimes it's better because I kind of connect the dots, but sometimes it's just like I give up.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, anyways, yeah, see if you can like share shit. I'm not sure if there's a way for me to like kind of give you access to do that.
All
That's,
access. We like all
yeah,
access, right?
that's kind of like what I'm after. I'm just like, how about if I just like, you know, give you like full control to do whatever the hell you want, guess.
Let's try it. Da, 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 da. In other news.
Yeah, this is god damn it. I don't know. This is something like I can actually like turn around and reach out to Dustin. Do you know who Dustin is? Gary V's video dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
I see him every now and then when he jumps in. I was like, sorry,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
Dustin.
you're online. You're online.
Yeah. Anyways, but I can like
He's very cool, by the way.
He's very
nice
very
guy
cool.
coming from him.
Every now and then I'll like poke, I'll like throw a DM and I'll just poke at him and kind of with whatever and tell him like, hey, thanks for recommending that and whatnot. So I can always just quickly throw him a question. He's always really cool about answering back and whatnot.
Nice.
Excuse me. Anyways, but yeah, like I'll see if there's a way in which that I can have a guest share their screen and all that kind of stuff, because that is actually going to go a long bloody way, because I need them to be, because one of the DJs likes to play sound effects and shit like that. And that is, and that's key. Like that kind of, yeah, you have.
Well, here's the thing. Like my experience, sorry to interrupt. My experience pretty much with like sharing a screen or sharing a guest, if that's what you mean. You throw the link, the invite link, exactly, and he pops up as a third person in the screen. So we have like multiple up until 6.
Yeah. There's that. Yeah. So like there's that.
Whatever, but I think you mean something else by the screen share and the administrative access kind of.
More, it's just more, you know how like if you're a host, I can share, like how I shared the screen to show you where Calgary is. Yeah, essentially that. Except I need to be able to have it with.
You know what? Either we fuck this up. I'm gonna try to click my share screen.
Oh yeah,
I'm just gonna open like a random folder with a photo. Let's say, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
And
because front row shot, that'd be sweet.
I have so much. Maybe it's a front row shot. I have so much stuff on my desktop that it might literally like explode, and you just see.
If it explodes, all the better.
But wait, he tells me 2 monitors, application window, Chrome tab. No. View entire screen. I don't know. Probably. Share. No idea what just happened. Oh, okay. Broadcast studio. There we go.
So what happened is, like, for me, at the very bottom, it just popped up with the other windows. So now if I were to, now I have the power.
I don't. I just realized that. Oh, wait a sec, because I literally took it away simultaneously.
Oh, yeah.
So funny.
Cool.
A ripple effect.
Fuck yeah, that totally works. Oh my god. Yes.
Well, pretty much. Pretty much, I just wanted to show that violet image. If you come back.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I have like on the side. Burp, 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 burp. And it's one of the posters, my Rock Dance Theater things, saying that a master class with me is postponed. And this is literally what I had in my folder.
Is that what you do? Do you teach dance and all that?
I teach multiple things, you know. Most of the time, it's actually performing arts in general, which is all about not only performing technique, a little bit of Q&A, a little bit of problematics, but yeah, working with the body, working with costumes, working with all kinds of stuff, and then later leading up until like a show, but also multiple dance techniques. Yeah, physical theater related, contemporary dance related, ballet back in the day, you know.
I'm listening to you. I'm actually just like kind of creeping your Instagram at the same time. I am listening to you at the same time. Sorry. Yeah, definitely. Because I like to kind of get a.
You gotta be fast. I'm so passive. Here's the thing. Since I'm on these fuckers nonstop, I figured this is the most of a human interaction, and it's so cool. You're the first dude, Rob, that I actually talked to in Canada.
Oh no shit!
Since this thing came up, and I have a ton of friends. Yet, you know, the day has only 24 hours within, you know, a night and day cycle, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I feel almost like being in Canada right now on a visit, on a small trip.
Oh, not right now. I'm sick of fucking snow, man. I'm so goddamn sick of snow. I don't know about you.
just this, not doing anything else, hands free,
Yeah, like how's that? How this is let's get into some like mundane questions and stuff like that.
Hit me.
What's your guys' weather like right now? What's it like right
Today,
now? Yeah.
well, for Easter, it literally dropped half of what it was. It was 23 Celsius, which is pretty much like summer-ish and pretty rad. It snowed 2 days ago, and the pressure dropped, and it's all like woozy. So I don't know what's hitting me harder right now, the crash tonight, because I literally feel I was running on low engines a little bit.
Mhm.
So like dosing up on coffee, and then kind of, not, I don't want to say dwelling, but complaining to my own self is like, why am I so down? I don't have no energy. I'm literally the first person always to be like, freaking loaded or crazy. So yeah, maybe it's just that, literally snowing and being at around 10-8 Celsius over here.
Yeah. Six. The wife and I actually just finished doing the math on it. We've had a grand total
All
of
right.
6 months straight of snow. 6 months.
It's Canada. Anything can happen, especially I think across the border where you're at.
And it's like literally this morning it was still fucking snowing, and I'm like, I'm so sick of this. But here's the
There
thing:
were
is that we have
yeah.
wild temperature swings, and we like where we can go from like hell earlier this winter. What was it? We had a cold snap that lasted about 3 weeks, where we were at about wind chill of about -42 average, somewhere right around there, and in less than 24 hours, +5.
There you go.
That big of a
That's
fucking
not
shift.
surprising. I mean, to be honest, weather is one of these things that I so don't discuss. It's a very short conversation with me. It's like, yeah, you cannot control it.
Wild.
Wear
No, it's just
flip-flops
wild.
and Martin's boots at the same time. Just switch. What's your problem? So
Exactly. Ultimately,
yeah.
we're just ants in comparison to like in comparison to Mother Nature as a totality force. It's like we're just fucking ants. It's like we can bitch and complain about it, but ultimately you're correct. We just adapt.
I know. A super tiny animal. It's like, what are the chances? Yet, I consider my universe quite big, and I try to think as much of myself as possible. But at the same time, when you think about it, it's so awesome within a galaxy, within this reality, however you might define it, depending on your belief system and all. It's like, you're so small. It's so awesome. It's like the total equalizer, just as now, this pandemic thing.
Yeah, listen enough Neil
equalizer
deGrasse
ever, right?
Tyson, that'll change. That'll definitely put things into perspective as far as like grand scheme of things. Fuck yeah, man. Oh yeah, by the way, to kind of pothole, we're going back. Your first gig. So you went to that big ass arena. By the way, 60,000 people is what that capacity is. That's madness.
I have no idea how many they had then, but it was huge. It was like,
was it packed?
I think it was sold out. Yeah.
Fuck me. That would have been like an easy 50. That's your first gig, and that would have been 50,000 people easily.
And you know what? That's how I felt.
That's a fucking crazy first show, man.
At some point at a show, it's like this main center stage to walk out into the crowd, into the middle of like concrete, pretty much, and it's like a tiny one person and an ocean. It's surreal, man. It's
so fucking
awesome.
wild.
It's so awesome. And at the same time, also like a best feeling ever, So it's like, you know what? Both are cool. I love these small intimate shows and gigs where you literally just get to hang out and you learn everybody's fucking name because 10 or 30 people are there. For me, it's the same thing, to be honest. And it's so awesome how like varied it can be, from this extreme to the other. It's just like, oh man, that's what we live for. At least I know I do. It's like,
Well, that's the one thing actually that kind of drives my wife a little bit crazy is that.
What does your wife do, if I can ask? Like, is she a Testament fan as well?
Music is how we met and got connected. Like that's a story in and of itself. Actually, I can tell you a couple of really cool stories in regards to that. Sorry, I don't mean to make this all about like me. I feel so selfish.
No.
Sorry.
It's awesome. It's
I just have like a literally.
By the way, we should have people that actually could comment and give us feedback. Like, is it a thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing?
At this point,
we care at all.
Well, it's pretty much more. it's all about like the community engagement. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to entice like people to communicate and talk and chat and stuff like that, it shouldn't be for any other reason other than to entice like social engagement within a community. That's what it should be utilized for. And a lot of people kind of get caught up in the whole like popularity high school mentality when it comes to utilizing social media and trying to engage with a wider audience.
Less about popularity, you know.
Exactly.
Like here's a small story about me again. Back at school, I was an outsider. I was doing my own thing. It's like I had such weird friends if I was at school, because I was skipping school because I was doing my own thing. It was literally, I was dressing the weirdest. I was listening to music. Like I was painting my nails in like whatever science class, and I was first row.
Yeah.
Don't get me mistaken, I was the biggest rebel up until a certain point when I knew better. But you know, in that sense, popularity, I was always like the soloist kind of. Yet I had my small weird bunch of friends that shared passion, you know, and music was also one of the things, you know, when you're a teen. I remember my first not so official boyfriend, because we weren't close friends. We were literally sitting in hallways, you know, on our speakers, on a Discman, listening to shit like, what was it, Metallica, or I think
Black Album, I'd imagine.
Limp Bizkit, it was coming out.
Yeah.
Then a little bit of Dead Can Dance, you know, like weird stuff from a very wide spectrum. Because I just love good music, period. It's like the only thing I don't really listen to is shit. And we all know what that is. It's just bad as a category, period. Miles Davis quote, good or bad music. So, you know, like coming back to that, like we didn't realize, but it was actually that kind of moment where we were so close together and we were at the same time very close friends, and we did not realize, hey, we're kind of like the teen kind of age, you know, girl boy situation, and we're getting pretty close and we're lying on top of each other, just listening to tunes. And, you know, it was a cool vibe. It was a cool hang. So, yeah, school, popularity, again, I so did not care. The more I was kind of hated and pointed at, the more I was like, yeah, awesome for me, you know, I know what I'm doing.
I was actually just more ignored, more so than anything. I wasn't like, best way to put mine was weird, like as far as growing up and kind of like where I sat in like the social structure of like the high school hierarchy.
How sorry, like I'm completely green at this. How's the schooling system in Canada where you grew up? Was that a general school? Was it a public school, or like just for boys, just for girls? Like how
it's a public school. It's a straight up public school. So we have private schools and public schools and stuff like that and whatnot here. We have like your religious schools, like your Catholic schools, your Christian schools, and all that kind of stuff, where those tend to be, I guess, like they're public but private. I don't know, but they go under different rules.
Varies probably, right? It's like,
yeah, but the education system for the most part is relatively the same. But anyways, so like in how it worked, like for growing up, is like for me anyways, it's kind of changed since I've been to school. And like I graduated back in 2003, just to kind of give you context as far as how much changed. But when I grew up, you're in kindergarten, and then from grade 1 to grade 6 you were in elementary school, and then grade 7, 8, and 9 was junior high school, and then grade 10, 11, 12 was high school.
Gotcha. I just smiled when you said kindergarten, because it just hit back, you know, good old times. So careless.
I took kindergarten twice.
I skipped religion class and went over to boys to play with cars. That's what I did. And I was like 3.
No shit.
Yeah, trust you me. It was awesome. It was so awesome. Oh, there was the class, like a chill down class. I don't know how the hell it was called, but you were supposed to get milk, a cookie, and go to sleep. And I was a hyper kid. That's why I went into dance and sports and shit like that. Because they literally put you to bed for like 45 minutes or whatever. And I was like, nah, gotta.
Fuck, we didn't have any of that shit.
Oh, really?
Like we didn't have nap times.
That was another moment when I just bailed and went over to, I think, to a higher grade. Just like, I remember that. That was so rad. Like, nope, not gonna happen. I'm not sleepy.
So how about your guys' school system? How does that work over in Sweden?
Well, actually, well, here's the thing. Like in Sweden, to be honest, no idea because I was born in Poland, I was raised in California, and I
Ah.
arrived in Sweden like literally around 10 years ago. So to be
So where
honest,
did you spend most of your like your high school, junior high, like your grade like 2 to grade 12? Like where did you spend most of that time?
that was over in Europe, actually, in Poland and Austria. Like
Poland and Austria, okay.
I started my education a year earlier because I hit let me retrace. That's a little bit tricky on my memory. I hit kindergarten over in California, San Diego,
Mhm.
which is where I initially grew up. Then I did primary school grade 1, 2, and 3, still in the US. Then we came back to Europe, and I finished the rest of my education in Poland, which was grade school in Warsaw, and then I went to Austria for my first higher education. No, sorry, scratch that. I did my first studies, so to speak, when I was 16. That's when I was like enrolled as a student, which is
Mm,
pretty much like a grad school, I guess, in those categories in Canadian terms.
right.
Have a final exam at 18 over in Europe. It differs from country to country, but I did my final exams when I was 18 and already had like a first degree, whatever that was. Cultural education, by the way, teacher. And
Oh
then
shit.
I went to Austria to study dance, and I was already a semi-established artist, if you will. So that was kind of funny. And then that led to a whole other story, ended up in Austria, in Vienna. A contract fell apart, click, 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 click.
Oh no.
I was a mess and everything wasn't going according to plan. So my mom, funny enough, was kind of my best manager at the time. She figured, what the fuck can I study? Not art related, because I'm on the practical side of things. So how boring would it be to study what I already like do practically? It's like, come on. But you know what? Body related, she found a physiotherapy school. Bang. And I did 3 years of my license as a physiotherapist, as a medical practitioner. So that was kind of that. And yeah, then I had a couple of other like open tracks to a master degree or whatever. But you know what? I've been always a practitioner. I can study or do my doctorate, if you will, when I'm old. Keith
Hmm.
Richards old, and I cannot move anymore. So it's like I
And
never really
healthier.
I never really cared about the science side of it, however much I'm passionate about that. And if time allows and my kind of inspiration allows, I go to that. So I'm a kind of yin and yang on things. But at the same time, I was always into practical things, and on that side of the medal. So it's like I skipped school and I did my own schooling because I'm self-taught in many things. I was lucky enough to actually have great teachers in my field that kind of led me. And I started early as a kid being a professional, so I needed guidance. And thank you to all of my teachers that I met along my way and kind of sculpted me, because they did show me the path. And I think it's what prevented me from doing dumb shit, meaning doing drugs, doing alcohol, being in just a stupid teenager, I guess, because I was really an adult back then, and that was way cooler for me, I guess, being better at what I do instead of just getting drunk and wasted.
Hmm.
That I did way later, actually. So that's a hilarious other story. But anyway,
Give me
yeah.
one. Give me one. Give me one. Wait, actually, no. Here's a better one. Here's a better question. This is a really good setup question for a good story, because I guarantee you got a fucking good story on this.
I have so many stories, man. I'm writing a book. It's endless. I'm never going to publish it.
I'm
What?
sure you're never gonna publish it. Anyways, at the very least, it's like it's gonna be the framework to something bigger. Anyways, everyone, it's those that typically have had the experience of like getting over inebriated on alcoholic beverages, just getting totally shit faced, wasted. Those that have been in that kind of realm generally have that one particular drink where they are now their body is, or you are physically not permitted to consume that one beverage anymore because you've ingested so much of it for that one night, and you are now forbidden to drink that drink because just the smell of it will make you want to vomit. Do you have that drink? And if so, what is that drink?
No, not
No?
at all. To be
Shit.
honest, I've drank intensively 1 year of my life. I'm 33 this year, as I said. I've been drinking heavily. First year in Austria when I arrived, I started working with a Latino community, and they're very hospitable. It's just like one of my ex-boyfriends was Colombian. He was a bartender, I was at the conservatory studying dance, long nights, partying out, being out each night. But here's the thing, that was the very first
Those were the days.
experience of kind of really experiencing the nightlife on a recreational basis, because to be honest, at school, and this is a true story, I remember as bright day today, I was 10 or 11, and I remember my friends at school, boys, by the way, which is most of the times who I hang out with because it was just more fun. Girls hated me, I think, or I hated them. I don't know.
I hear that so much. It's sort of crazy. Fuck man, women do not get along.
I swear to God. Like, here's the thing, I don't have problems. I guess many women do have issues, and I don't get their issues. But that's a separate thing. No judgment.
Yeah. We'll speak on that. I got stories around that some other time.
Coming back to that, pretty much being 10 or 11, as I just mentioned, like my friends had a problem. Man, I'm not getting any allowance. I cannot buy beer and I cannot go out tonight. And then my problem was, how the fuck do I get funding for my next project, for my next choreography? Because I have this dream to be on stage and da-da-da.
That's a very entrepreneurial thing you just said. Like, holy shit, like this is something.
Even if it is, it's like true story. That's where my priorities were. I could not care less to party out. I did not, like I had a different mindset. So when I was in Austria, this was kind of the first moment to let my leash go a little bit, number one, and just kind of check it out how it is. And after a year of that, I swear to God, we were at home, me and my three friends, Miriam, Dante, and Arnulfo. We woke up from just drinking casually, like I'm hanging out in my kitchen right now, which is the broadcasting studio. We were drinking red wine in the kitchen for like half a night, I think. And we all woke up poisoned. I was pale, way more than you. I could not move a fucking muscle.
More than me, you're transparent.
Really. Like,
sorry, go on.
I felt my whole body have this super weird sensation of like disappearing, as if a time clock was running just like sandbit by sandbit. It's nothingness. And then this realization that I need to move my thumb to text someone in the other room. By the way, I think Dante was passed out in the hugging a toilet. Arnulfo was the only sane one that kind of woke up, and it was least affected from all of us. He prepared soup for us that kind of saved our lives. And I was literally, it was a hangover. It was alcohol poisoning. I do not know what it was. It was kind of a cheap wine of a carton. It tasted good. It was a little bit dry and sour to the taste, but I think it was either a toxin, a poison, or very bad preservation of it that hit us across the board. And that's when I kind of realized, you know what? That was a fuck me moment. This one is really scary. Minus the fact that alcohol was never working for me. I liked the taste at the moment. It was fun at the moment. I was always sweating it out because I was either dancing and it was kind of on zero level. But at the same time, the next day, not being able to perform as I did, me being an athlete, it's like I felt all of my cells poisoned. I didn't feel like myself and I hated it. So I figured, no, it's not for me. Thank you very much. See ya.
Yeah.
So
See,
my short story with alcohol, to be honest, and any substance use, really. Like I've never done drugs, to be honest. Like
not even weed, eh?
Weed, like mom. If you're ever gonna watch this, I've done weed, and you know this 3 times. That's hilarious. And to be honest, it's like it's for some people. For me, I don't need substance because I'm addicted to my own. I love that I produce my own adrenaline because I'm just high with life. And everyone asks me, "Are you high? What are you taking? I want the same shit." Nothing. That's me behaving as I'm behaving clean. So call me.
Can I throw a Vaynerchuk quote in there really quick?
Go ahead.
Whenever people ask him that very same question, that exact same thing what you just said, anytime he gets thrown that his way, and then people will reply to him saying cocaine, and then he'll turn around and retort back to him, no, gratitude. And I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah. It's just high. It's being high. And I've been thrown that so many times in the sense like, tone yourself down. You're way too much. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you cannot deal with it, go on your way. It's just that's how I'm wired, period. I don't know if like it's upbringing, it's the genes, or it's just I so get high on what I do. I don't need drugs, period. I save so much freaking money, and I save many people's lives, and I save my own life and health, because it's just dumb stupid. We all know that. That's a long story of rock. And not only kids, drugs kill, period. If you want to check it out, it's just fuck, really,
we just lost too many gods. We've lost too many legends. Like
it's weird, because let's say the Aerosmith guys snorted half of Peru, and they say it out loud, they embrace it. I think at this point it's very important that they actually say it. By the way, I cried when I did read Cocaine Diaries. No, wait, I'm messing up the title. Nikki Sixx's book.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing, and this is where we're gonna probably like deviate in terms of like methods of consumption of content.
Passive, active, in between.
You read. I fucking suck at it. As a result, I read.
No. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up.
It's just one of those like self-awareness things where it's like I know the methods in which I can consume that make sense to me, and the way other methods are not invalid. It's just
many people might not at all, but I can truly say that I binge for hours and hours. It's just like air for me, for example, because that's kind of my thing, and then sometimes I just skip to something else, and every now and then I have a phase, okay, I read a book 2 or 3, and then I don't at all for many years, because I either don't have the time, or there's another excuse or other things coming up, or I write. It's like, don't beat yourself up, man. It's like, really, you'll get to that point. If you want to read something, put it on the shelf, and it's going to come to you when the time is right. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Any small advice,
I agree. Anyways, Nikki Sixx's book.
Yeah. I did cry on that one, just purely because it was so fucking honest, and I think that's the only way to go about these things, is like literally describe that you're so alienated, you're sitting in your own closet. And I cannot speak from that point of view at all. As I say, like, I thank God or whoever that I did not have to try those things. I did not experience that. But if someone says that I'm so alienated, I started hating what I loved doing and what I lived basically for, because of drugs, because of where I'm at, and I desperately need help. This is how I feel. It feels like a black hole and no return. I go like, exactly. And you know what? It's just the way that it was written. I think now, flipping this thing around of being stupid back then as a young kid and a young teenager, for saving a life or two, and actually making a difference in the world, for me, that's fucking value. Doesn't matter if you're famous, doesn't matter if
no
your story kind of goes across widespread or not. It's if it affects, and I know people really struggling with all kinds of things, anxiety, we all artists experience anxiety, experience all kinds of depressive states. If it does hit home and help someone out to kind of bounce, or even start the process of turning their life around, and they feel stuck with something, it doesn't matter what that is.
Even just looking on the camera.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all addiction or another. And if you feel that it's going out of control, I really respect everyone that is kind of giving back in any way. So for that matter, for me, it's like important. It's not just purely about who you are and your profession, but if you do something like that, for me, it means a lot, and I appreciate it. Because if I think about it, if I was ever in the situation and that could really save my life, collectively and directly or not, that would be the way to go about it. So it's like, it's just cool. It's really cool.
Exactly. Sorry, just a heads up. Sorry if it's like anytime like I'm talking, I'm like looking at you, but I'm actually like looking at you when you're speaking. So I'm sorry if like this is what's really fucked up for me. And this is when it comes to just the whole this communication methodology, is that as you can probably tell, I'm an extrovert to the highest of order. I'm like to the highest of order, and that just comes from years and years of talking with thousands of people, and that's just from jobs that I've held.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. And yeah, so as a result, just
I probably
not
won't,
having
right? We're gonna have plenty of content. I talk a lot.
and it's like and it's just having like that weird disconnect of like you're talking to someone who's like on video, but at the same time I'm like not looking at your eyes. I'm looking
I
at a
know.
machine. It's
Totally.
like it's just that mental disconnect for me is just really strange because I'm a more personable person.
Me
Like
too. I mean, to be
yeah.
honest, we should not complain because, of course, we're all going through the same thing together, meaning quarantine and lockdown. But I completely agree. I hate text messaging many times. I hate the phone. I hate like this whole Facebook thing. However much I'm digitally completely set up because I was practically raised with a mouse in my hand. My dad taught me pretty much everything about BIOS back then and first internet when it was
Fuck yeah.
still like
Dad did it
fucking
right.
blue and green screen and had nothing in it, yet we called it internet. But absolutely, I do need this energetic exchange, the real emotion, the real kind of thing. And I guess this is the closest as we can get for the time being, so let's not be picky. That's
Yeah,
just my
because like we just because health experts and a tour promoter and promoters and health experts were saying up here that hey, don't expect to have any tours come around your neck of the woods until like fall 2021. And I'm like,
I did see that. It bummed me out more than anything. Like, here's the thing.
and I know they're right, and they're
I,
right.
I I'm not an expert on COVID at all. I might
Mm.
be a medical professional, and I'm also on the other side of the business, meaning in performing arts. On speaking from both sides, I hope it's not true. I hope it's a little bit of harsh reality, so that we kind of think about it that it will severely change in the sense of how we remember it up to, let's say, 10th of March or 8th of March or 1st of January, depending where it hit officially. But I hope it's not going to be as extreme because in many places life has to go on. It has to continue. This is a phase. We're not going to be on lockdown for the rest of our lives. It's impossible.
No.
Life has to prevail, and businesses have to prevail, and also the entertainment business has to prevail. It will be different. Maybe it's literally going to take sectors split, and 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters, meaning audience, a meter and a half away from band members, from performers. It's like it's even hard to kind of grasp with your own mind. But I did see that, like, so many portals posted that. I think it was the first one I saw was in Austria, and then I think Metal Injection and a couple of others. And I
Well,
was just like,
yeah,
I had to close it because I got too bummed out. I cannot watch it. I purely try to spend time right now on positive things, and also being as productive creatively as I possibly can. The less I watch the news, and of course the numbers are rising. It's not that I'm ignorant. Don't get me wrong, and it's not
you have
trivializing
to
at all.
like treat it like an IV drip and give
Yeah,
yourself bits of information, not overwhelm yourself. And like, here's the thing. This is what's been really cool about up here with this whole situation. Our prime
yeah. Tell me,
minister.
how is it in Canada? How are you guys
Oh, it's
taking it?
fucking awesome. Like it's like the way that things have been. Oh yeah,
I
the
love your
way.
excitement, to be honest. But
Oh no,
that's
like the
excitement for life, right? Not like
the way in which, in my opinion, the way that the Canadian government has been handling like the entire situation, like there's going to be things in the like you're going to get slippages, you're going to have like holes in the foundry, like yeah, there's going to be areas in which that yeah it can be improved, but as a whole, and not trying to be judgmental or be too compare or compared to other nations too much, but as far as like Canada, how Canada has implemented and executed their plans have been pretty on fucking point. Like I've been thoroughly goddamn impressed. And like Alberta, our province, has had like the most testing in the entire goddamn country. Like in terms of like just pure numbers. Like where we only have like a quarter of the population of that like Ontario. And like the province like that has like Ottawa, Toronto, like those big monsters. And we had more testing done than them, and we still continue to have like really good testing. So our numbers and our curve has been actually relatively flattened, and it's been actually been really good. But our health minister had warned was her Dr. Deanna Hinshaw. She had warned like these numbers, yes, they're good. They're optimistic looking, but don't take that as a
even.
false positive.
Yeah, yeah,
As
yeah, yeah,
in that at
You
any
gotta
point in
be
time.
realistic. I mean, it's literally 2 days of flattening of the curve doesn't affect 2 weeks. It's just like up and down, up and down.
Exactly. So like,
So
and she's been fucking phenomenal. Oh my god, that woman. Oh my god, her. I follow her Twitter feed religiously, and like
that's glad to
holy
hear.
shit, she's been really good.
That's good to hear because, to be honest, I don't go much about politics. I try
Mm,
not to comment on
me either.
that
Me either.
purely
Nope.
because
Nope.
I despise the system. Like, I despise any system. I hate politics. I hate governments. It is just like worse, better than worse, like worse than worse. I just don't comment on it. But it's good to hear that some governments and some countries are being more responsible and more savvy and constructive about the matter than others, because I know there's so much irresponsibility happening out there. It just
Yeah,
blows my
because
mind
like
how
our
fucking stupid we are as human beings, you know? So it's really, it's, I appreciate you saying that you have the feeling within your own country and region that it kind of makes sense.
yeah,
However much
like
it might make
there are areas in which I think that they're really faulting on like really hard, and that's on more of, and that's just because there's a separation between provincial and federal way of handlings, right? And
sense.
so the
By the way,
Canadian
Rob,
government hasn't. Mhm.
sorry to interrupt. I just
Oh no,
need
it's
to
okay.
go and get my charger because I'm running literally on 15% batteries.
Oh yeah,
Please
yeah.
stay off the screen while I go plug in and come back, all right?
Actually,
And you can
one question,
continue.
like give me like 2 seconds before you jump off screen. Tell me if you can hear this.
No,
Does my music play out for you?
no.
No music? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I'm not
I'll be with you guys
playing like
right back.
copyrighted shit.
Okay, gotcha. I just need to get my charger, so
Yeah,
I'll see
go
you
ahead.
later.
Please do.
Give you a thumbs up.
I just didn't want to make sure. I just want to make sure I wasn't playing any, copyrighted music, because that's bad. Be out on Twitch, it's pretty okay in certain contexts. Nope, don't do that. So how does that work?
All right. Sorry for that. It's
Oh no,
not a
it's okay. It's
question.
like I'm a
It's
fucking
not a question
chatterbox, and the
that
fact that like
I
I'm totally killing like a Mac battery makes me kind of happy.
gotcha. It's not that my apartment is huge and I was literally spending half an hour to look for my charger. No, it's relatively small and quite cozy. But I also figured that I'm gonna, check my hair in the meantime. This is how I look without my hoodie and beanie and all. And yeah, I put on other pants so that you guys know this is literally a show happening right now. So that just is just who I am. I need to change my freaking clothes. It's a sickness too.
It's all good. It's like, here's the thing. I have a hard time with wearing like the same like shit for like multiple days in a row, but that's also mostly predicated on having a closet filled with just band merch.
What
That's
was your first band merch? Which, by the way,
oh yeah, that's right. We never got to that question, eh?
more and more in thrift stores, which is actually what I love. What did I find? Jesus, somewhere in Berlin, I got an AC/DC shirt from like 80 something. That was pretty rad. And then I got a Kiss shirt, like just saying Kiss, and then the Rolling Stones like tank top, just like super ripped apart almost, but with the huge lips, stuff like that for literally €1 or two. But it creates so much joy. It's just awesome. And then I either use it on stage or just as a pajama or a workout outfit, but it's just the best, man.
Man, the fact that you found a Kiss shirt like across the pond, like
Oh yeah.
fuck yeah.
full on. In Europe, you get plenty of those things because they're super expensive, of course,
Oh yeah, I
edging,
guess the price would be
and
astronomical.
then some people just sell them, or they drop out of their fanhood, I guess, or whatever. They start hating it or grow out of it, I don't know.
Yep.
But usually, they're in great shape, and even when they're beat up, I love post-apocalyptic stuff and the genre and the style. So it's kind of the more wasted and worn out it is, the better. So I get that too. It's just awesome. It's just I cut it out and I use it for something. It's fantastic. As long as it has, an original backstory to it, which we all know it does. It's just, it's history. It's like a beat up record pretty much, or a board with Lemmy or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
It's just cool, man. It just brings back memories, and there's a ton of stories that were about all of this once it was created. So I find that pretty cool.
You were absolutely correct.
That I'm a rock history geek. I could have cared
really?
about regular history because we don't learn from that. World War I, World War II, before that, after that, 9/11, we don't learn from anything. But I love rock history and history of arts like that. So
that's speaking my fucking language.
High five!
It's like, hell yeah! It's like, holy shit! It's like not many.
Right now, Rob, I think we have just established a completely freaking new podcast between Europe and Canada. This is our first episode, raw and unscripted, but I think we should do more.
So raw. It's like it's
I
gonna
think
be
this is the beginning of a sequel.
yeah, it's like it's super janky. It's gonna be. It is kind of what it is. Now, one thing I should have asked like in advance as well is like, do you have like a time limit that you want to like kind of have or anything like that? Because I could literally go for like 6 hours.
No, you know what?
I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not gonna fucking do that to you. But I'm just saying, like, physically and energy wise, I'm capable.
All right, I trust you on that. I can see your eyes right there. No, you know what? I think it's always cool to kind of cut it short purely because of not to overdo it.
And you're late as fuck over there.
And leave a little bit of space and excitement for the next things to come. So to be honest, sometime around an hour, and we've already been like an hour over, feels fresh. After that, like, for everyone. So that's kind of
true. It's like, see, that always freaks me out is like how guys like Joe Rogan could go over like 3 or 4 hours and hang on to an audience. Like he's just an incredible conversationalist, and I was kind of trying to emulate like some of his I guess mannerisms as far as like being a conversationist. Anyways, but yeah, how people can hold on to audiences for more than an hour is beyond me. It's a remarkable skill. But yeah, we have to do more of this.
You know what? Keeping audience attention in a live show, like there's an expertise on that. But keeping an audience online today, now that's tricky. That's a challenge, I gotta say. So we either just wing it. We don't know. Like either we talk about it later on, and everyone is gonna like know the final effect on what we kind of directed, cut, edited, and post-produced. Or we just totally wing it. We give it ourselves an hour and we just see where life takes us.
Yeah, definitely. So I do have like all this shit recorded and whatnot because I have OBS going on in the background and it's doing everything in the back. So what I'll do is after we're done, I'll probably spend. Well, I got other footage I got to chop up from my previous show that I did, and I got to chop up this one. So and then I also got to stream tomorrow. So you probably won't see anything until probably closer to. Give me a second. I'm going to give you an exact date. Friday afternoon.
Fantastic, because I have plenty of stuff coming up Thursday. I do have my own live to attend on Friday.
Oh, not to go live. Like I'll give you the files and stuff like that. If you want to schedule to go live again, fuck yeah. Like I'll do that at any time.
That's a completely different story. Yeah, but no worries because man, like tomorrow I have plenty of stuff to kind of publish towards an announcement, connected to Rock Dance Theater and so on. But it's funny. Like, and on another finishing note, it's so hilarious how these days are packed. I don't know about yourself, but I've been busy as ever. It's just places to attend to, conference calls, meetings, producing content, being on social media. I gotta say, like the borders have shut down on me 10th of March, which is the last moment when I was in Paris teaching, among others. and I've been busiest as fuck the last month. I haven't been earning much because obviously, due to the profession that I do, physical contact is not possible. But man, in terms of stuff happening, it's been rad. I am shocked by this, positively, of course.
Fucking A. Cool. All right, we'll do that. We'll save it there for the next time. For those that are watching post production, all that good shit. Thank you very much. Make sure to follow Anna. If you're not, you are doing it wrong.
Sorry. Make sure to follow Rob as well.
I do the same goddamn thing. I do the same thing.
I'm not gonna learn.
You know what? Actually, do it almost work. I can't, because if I were to do top bottom, kind of like what Instagram does, then it'd be possible. That way it'd be like down, up.
Yeah, exactly. That's easier. Right and left always screws you up. That's hilarious.
All right. Yeah, shoot me a DM, and we'll schedule another one.
Rob. This was a lot of fun. Fantastic hangout, and yeah, looking forward to more, man. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, shoot me a DM. We'll schedule another one.
Right on. Have a good one.
Cheers.
See ya.